What's up, guys? This is the 2021 Road Glide Special, and I'm going to go over a few things that they've changed and updated since 2020. So throwback to 2017 when Harley introduced the Milwaukee 8 motor. This has been one of the biggest upgrades since the Rushmore project. I love this motor. You've got power in every single part of the power band, low RPMs, mid-range, and the highs. Part of how Harley does this is the 4 valves per cylinder. A lot of people don't go into what that really means for you. Because you've got 4 valves per cylinder, you've got more surface area. So you've got 2 exhaust valves and you've got 2 intake valves. You also have 2 spark plugs. You've got one in the dead center, which is the optimal placement for a spark plug, and then you've got one on the left side. This ensures that all of the gas combust in the chamber. It reduces in carbon buildup, and it keeps your motor running longer, keeps your motor running longer and reduces any kind of mechanical failure. Also increases power and efficiency, greater fuel economy, and power through the entire power band, lows, mids, and highs. I highly recommend when you ride one of these motors if you haven't already. So one of the biggest talking points for 2021 is the center console. If you've ever had an older touring bike, I had a 2019 Street Glide Special, that center cap, that button, you know what I'm talking about, it would lock. And that latch would either need to be greased or replaced or whatever the situation is, but you could sit there and pop it like 3 or 4 times and it would never open. You had to like slide your fingernail or your credit card or something flat and thin underneath that to pop it open. They took that away. The gas tank cleans up quite a bit with this more like minimalist, kind of old school, classic looking center console. And then you've just got one gas cap on the right. Another big design feature that Harley added to the 2021 specials is chopped engine guards. So these engine guards do a few things. They streamline the motorcycle. They make it look like it has a lower center of gravity, and it does. It's mounted 11 inches lower from the standard engine guards. It doesn't make it look quite as bulky. A bad thing about it is you can't add lowers to these. You have to buy the standard engine guards if you wanted to put lowers on these bad boys. Another thing is if you're a shorter guy, shorter inseam, you have to buy the standard engine guards if you want those higher mounting points for your highway pegs. Those are a couple bad things, but overall I think it's a good look. I think it makes it look custom versus the standard option. A pretty simple thing to talk about, but the Prodigy cut wheels. I think the Prodigy edge cut wheels with the chrome finish really make it pop. I'm so glad they didn't go with just a chromed out bike. Something else to mention, just older technology, but something to mention, is the fact that Harley uses Brembo braking system. So these are dual disc Brembo brakes, really good brakes. Harley just pays a lot of money to put their logo on there instead of Brembos. This is the biggest one. This is something that customers have been asking for years, the return of the cable clutch. The hydraulic clutch was nice. I actually prefer the hydraulic clutch because I can predict exactly where it's gonna be at every single time. I had a situation where I ride a lot of bikes. I move them around the showroom floor. I have to do demos with customers, test rides, stuff like that. So I hopped on a bike. It was actually this bike. The clutch was adjusted way down low. So the second that you let off, it engages. I like to ride with just 2 fingers in the clutch, and I keep 2 fingers on the bar. So started it up, had my 2 fingers ready, popped it into gear, and the thing was already trying to take off on me. So you have to just be conscious of that. That's the big positive about it though. Guys like the adjustability, the ability to change where the clutch engages or disengages. Whereas the hydraulic, you really didn't have that adjustability. Downside to it is it needs adjustment. Really not really a big deal. You'll have to adjust it once after 1,000 miles. After that, it's gonna be pretty much set. And if anything breaks, it's pretty easy to replace. It's not very expensive. Whereas the hydraulic clutch, if something goes wrong there, if you don't have a warranty, you're gonna be paying a lot of money. This is a couple $100 and you're on the road again. So in 2015, Harley brought back the Sharknose Fairing after a year-long hiatus. They didn't produce any variation of it in 2014, whether it was the Road Glide Standard, or the Road Glide Ultra. They did thousands of hours of wind tunnel testing, and they developed the tri-vent system. So you get one up top, one on the left side, one on the right side. So what this does is it gives the rider and the passenger optimal comfort by reducing wind buffeting at higher highway speeds, but it still offers a little bit of air, ventilation, at lower speeds and higher speeds without just being in your face. I think it also looks cool. You've got some harder lines up front. You've got more of a crease right here on the top. They included the Daymaker headlight system, which is way better than your standard halogen system. One of the last things that I'll talk about is RDRS. This is something that I was skeptical about at first because I used to sell metric motorcycles and I thought that Harley would screw this up. They actually hit the nail on the head. The only thing that I don't like about the RDRS system is the traction control. The traction control is a little choppy. It's not what you'd expect from a motorcycle manufacturer in terms of traction control. It will save you. It'll save you with the in-corner enhanced traction control and just your standard traction control if you are on a puddle or gravel, or if you got a lot of power in the bike, like a 131 or something like that, and the back tire gets away from you. The bike will correct you, and it'll prevent you from making a mistake that if you didn't have it, you probably would have made. But I was disappointed whenever I first got on the bike and I launched a bike from a cold tire, dead stop, and it just killed the power. It didn't hook up like I imagined to. It didn't calibrate and like make all these kind of smart calculations to get me accelerating as quickly as possible. It just cut power. It was really annoying. That's really the only downside that I can say about the RDRS. The drag torque slip control is amazing. If you're downshifting really hard and you're heading into a corner, it will not let that back tire back out on you. It catches you and drives you straight through the corner without any issues. The traction control in corner is actually pretty epic as well. Rolling into the throttle in a corner, the back tire backs out on you. It does reduce power, but it brings it up in a way that you can still correct and make it through the corner without any issues. ABS is always amazing. They've perfected that since their issues back in 2012, 2013. The biggest thing about this is going to be the hill start assist. So if you're on a heavy incline, all you have to do is give the front brake a heavy grab until this H lights up and your back brake locks up. It won't relax, it won't let off the back brake until you roll on the throttle and let off the clutch. And then it lets you right up the hill without any issues. It also has tire pressure monitoring system, rain mode. In 2019, Harley introduced the GTS system, replacing the 6.5 boom audio system that they used before. This is a huge upgrade. I'm so glad they did this one. And some people buy this motorcycle just for this upgrade because they got so frustrated with the 6.5 boom audio system. So more processing power, more memory, Gorilla Glass, it's anti-reflective, it's multi-touch, it's TFT screen. There's so much going on with this screen. If you haven't had any experience with this thing, I highly recommend it. There we go. Now let's go take this baby for a proper ride. ABS check. ABS is working. ABS is working just fine. Almost there. There we go. Home free. So the first thing you're gonna notice with the Road Glide Special is how cool you look. That's typically the first thing that you notice. Just you look like a cool guy or girl, whatever. Fuck, I don't know if you're a chick or a dude. If you're a chick, you probably look pretty cool too. Probably look even cooler than the dudes riding these things. There's the RDRS. So we're gonna hop out onto this road right here. It's an asphalt road that isn't maintained very well, and it's pretty slick. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm talking about in terms of the RDRS being kind of choppy and not just. I haven't tried it on the 2021s actually. They might have changed something. I don't know. So right here, we're in the downhill. So hands off, and the bike wants to roll forward. Reach down. Grip the brake until the H lights up, and I can just chill. I'm just chilling. I don't have to hold the brake. I can put my hand on my hip. I could put my hand on the gas tank. I could put my hand on my helmet. I could put it wherever I wanted to. I could put it anywhere but the brake. I don't need to put it on the brake. But I'm gonna put it right here because it feels natural. Just pop the clutch a little bit. Little pop of the clutch. First gear. Around the corner, there we go. Some nice slick asphalt. See what I mean? Chop power. It spun for a split second. It chopped power, and then it got back into it. So I mean, that's the cool thing. It doesn't just clip it, but In a situation where you got a ton of power, I don't know how that would react. Maybe I'll go back to the shop and hop on the 131 and we'll find out. That's next week's video. Despite the bike being over 800 pounds, it feels light. I feel like I said that a lot last time. It's very windy today. I'm gonna close this vent. Oh, way better. Way better. I can't even feel the air. It's like I'm not even riding a motorcycle. I'm just kidding, I still feel it. It didn't change much for me. But no wind buffeting. My head's not bouncing around back and forth. The bike's nice and smooth. The suspension's working for me. This road sucks. Hands are off the bars, and I'm steering with my hips. That's one of the things you can do with the Road Glide. Street Glide, you can do it with the Street Glide as well, but it's not quite as easy. The fairing picks up wind in situations like this, and then the fairing just wants to take you in that direction. A little counter steer. Oh, that's another thing. Your Street Glide guys will say, "Oh, the headlight turns with you. It's just got so much better visibility at night." That's not true. That's actually completely false. I don't want to say that whoever says that's an idiot, because that's not quite true, but you know, they're misinformed. Because whenever you're on a Street Glide, the headlight turns with the front tire, and when you're turning like this, I pull the right side of the bar, which turns the wheel to the right, and I go left. It's called counter steering. So in that situation, your headlight's going to be turning to the right with you, whereas the Road Glide, if you counter steer, your headlight stays straight. It also has a wider field of view because of it's 30% wider field of view on the headlights versus the Street Glide headlight. So in terms of riding at night, the Road Glide's a much better option. I just don't like the way it looks. Milwaukee 8 has tons of power. It's very smooth. Let's go down to, let's ride through this corner in 4th. Probably gonna get down to like 30 miles per hour, so it's gonna bog down quite a bit. But check this out. Nice and smooth in the corner. That Showa dual bending valve, emulsion rear suspension, out of the corner hot. And we're gonna roll into it. We're at 1800 RPMs. We were at 30, no downshift. And we're ripping. And I missed my turn. It's okay though, because I've got Brembo brakes. And I can stop fast. The signals work great. All you do is press a button and it pretty much turns for you. I'm gonna put a foot down because that's legal in Texas, and we're off. Let's try that. Let's try the RDRS again. So it did it on the clutch pop, and then it did it again whenever you switched over to second gear. There's a cop right there, and your boy might get pulled over because I don't have a license plate on the back, because I took it off to do the video because the bike just doesn't look good with a license plate on there. And he's not gonna chase me because I've got a 114, and he probably already knows he wouldn't be able to catch me. He probably recognized that I got the 114, huh? So same RDRS system as 2020. It's not a launch control. It is literally just traction control to save your life. It's not going to help you put down better lap times. It's not going to help you drag race your buddies. You just need to learn throttle control. That's not my problem. That's not Harley's problem. Did it again. So in closing, the upgrades that Harley's made, I like them overall. Chrome finish is going to be one of my favorite upgrades. It's definitely something that was needed. The Prodigy wheels, way better. I don't even know the name of the wheels that they had used before, but I didn't like them. I really enjoy these wheels. Cable clutch, I can do with it or without it. I really don't care. I buy warranties on my stuff, so if the hydraulic clutch breaks, who cares? Let Harley-Davidson fix it. installed it. My service tech's looking at me like I'm an idiot. He's not wrong, but home sweet home. If I wouldn't have stalled it at the door, I could have made it around without putting my feet down. So this microphone's not going to come off. It's being difficult. But anyways, if you guys liked the video, if you enjoyed it, comment down below. Let me know what you liked about it. On the flip side, let me know what you didn't like about it. Like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. If there's something else you want to see me do, maybe a different bike, different model, or a different accessory, leave that down below as well. I'll keep posting, and I'll see you guys next time.